You know, look, obviously we know that Glenn wrote these songs and arranged them for the most part.
Dum 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 you are. Oh yeah 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 yeah. Whoa, only the lonely, only the lonely. You gotta take is your lonely heartbreak, only the lonely.
Now you write you write all the songs, right?
Yes.
So what do? You just write the songs and then you pick up a melody and you turn it on, and everybody's just...
No, he brings the song down and he's usually got them arranged and we just work them over. Yeah, okay. And basically what I do is I bring the songs down and we do them. You know, we work them out and we do them.
There's no way that Bobby did not have a hand in writing that riff. I just don't believe it, man. I just don't believe it. Maybe, like, obviously, look, Glenn wrote the song, but Bobby finessed all that. That's not Glenn's guitar playing. It's not. That's Bobby. That's totally Bobby, man.
You know, Glenn would come down with an idea, and I would take it and arrange it and write parts for it and get it all going, get it together. And then Frank would, I teach you to Frank, and we recorded it in that January. So.
Theme for Jackal, which people doesn't get a lot of airplay. You don't even airplay. Doesn't get a lot of play at all. It's a pretty different type of a song. If you listen to that, that was cool to do.
When we wrote Theme for Jackal, Glenn came down and he goes, I got this poem. He says, I want to try and put it to music. I said, well, let me take a look at it. And I looked and I was like, okay, because the lyrics are a little bit profound. I said, all right. I said, well, what key you want? And he said, C. So I said, okay, you ready? And I just start playing the riff. Bum, 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 bum. And it's the same riff for the whole song, but, we wrote that together. We wrote it in like 1 minute. And, he just started doing the lyrics on the top of it. And, I was there, so I know them. So, a lot of people would say, man, there's so many fucking words.
Nope. I write everything. Since day one, Misfits, Samhain, Danzig, I write it all.
Glenn was a singer-songwriter, yes. He knew how it was going to be, but he might say, do something like this over there, or try something there. You know what I mean? But for the most part, he wrote the songs. He might say, try something a little bit different.
But Glenn's not really a good guitar player, to be honest with you. He can fake his way through a Buddy Holly song or something like that. But as far as being a guitar player, he is not. He comes up with something halfway decent. He comes up with some halfway decent chords that are offbeat, like the beginning of Earth AD and shit like that. But he's not a good guitar player.
I put my little flavor on it. I don't try to overplay stuff. I try to make it tasteful and what I hear and stuff like that could sound better. You know what I mean? More interesting anyway, you know what I mean? There's little stuff that you do. I mean, it's not much, but,
Because we helped in the process of making the songs and shit. Glenn laid down the guitar riffs, and then we made our own shit. I made up the beat and shit, like that. We just pounded it out and made shit up as we went along. Joe was very articulate at the time.
So I know Glenn's obviously the primary songwriter in that band. What's, from the other three of you, Bobby and Jerry, what kind of input did you guys have?
Glenn took control of all. It was all his deal. Like, that's the way it was. You know what I mean? And basically, we just banged out the music. It was aggressive, and that's where we were at the time. I mean, pure energy. We were like 20 years old, fucking man.
Well, they're Glenn songs anyway, so. You
That's
wrote
true,
them,
yeah, I wrote all the
and
stuff.
Jerry and Doyle, they never did nothing.
He would come down with parts of songs, and then we would kind of arrange them a little bit. And every day he would come down and he would sing something different. And then when we get to the studio, we'd all be done with our shit, and we'd get to hear him sing, we'd all go crazy because it was great,
What's the creative dynamic, in the garage? Because I know the Misfits rehearsed in Jerry's garage for most of the time.
We'd go in, basically Glenn would come in once in a while, two vocals and stuff, and as a band we rehearse, and then most of the time it was just me, Jerry, and Bobby, and we would bang out the tunes. You know what I mean? Just get them. I mean, we would rehearse almost every day. You know what I mean? I mean, we were tight, like a machine, like, for a while. Glenn would show the chords and stuff, and then we would just develop what was going on.
And I feel like it's like that with a lot of stuff on various releases where Glenn was not the guitar player. A great example, Glenn, the way Glenn and John Christ would work.
I get a phone call from Glenn. He'd be like, "Go get your guitar." I'd be like, "All right, I got the song down, 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 down." Like when Death Had No Name or something. It's cool. And he said, I got 2 parts, and what do you think of this? But I said, let me play with it. And, I'd play with it, come up with a bunch of variations. We go down to rehearsal, the middle of the week or something, and bang stuff out. And sometimes he would have his guitar in the background unplugged, and I would have mine unplugged. And, we didn't have wireless phones then. Everything was on a cable, so mine's propped up under my ear, and I've got my head crooked to the side holding it while I'm listening to him, my guitar on my lap. And he's doing the same thing on his end, or I'm going to put the guitar down, so he's yelling in the background, and his cats are meowing,
I once saw an interview with Lou Reed, and a lot of these songs are 3 and 4 chord songs, okay? And he said, it's not how talented of a musician you really are. It's how you take, let's say, those 3 chords and play them. And I never forgot that. Right. And what you make of those 3 chords.
Guitar. It's a Les Paul. I don't play anything else but a Les Paul. There's just something about it. It's a great guitar. Usually when I'm writing songs, I just start screwing around. And then whatever just comes to my head, I'll get an idea, or just get a melody in my head, or maybe a line here or there, and just comes up with it. Yeah, it's a little violent sometimes. It's really evil for some reason. I don't know, it feels like heavy. If I told you what I was really thinking, they'd put me away.
From my understanding, Glenn would hum the melody or whatever, the guitar riff in his head. He'd vocalize it, kind of like what Michael Jackson does.
We're coming up with ideas, and later on he started bringing down a micro cassette recorder, and it would just be, just sounds, just humming sounds and noises and stuff, and a couple of comments here, occasional word, this and that, and we would sit together and work it out.
What you're hearing is not an electric drum machine. It's a hardwired, 48-track, digitally mastered human.
What I mean, so I'll take that and use that as the main foundation for the track and build all the sounds around that.
I go to a tape recorder and I just put exactly what I'm hearing in my head.
Michael Jackson wrote Beat It a cappella. It goes like, and Glenn would just be like, or maybe not that, but like some of like the guitar solo stuff. Glenn would hum it to John Christ, and And John Christ would, you know, interpret that through his guitar playing.
And if it wasn't going in the right direction, going to be like, wait a minute, give me that guitar.
I'm hearing this, or try that. And he said, nah, forget it. Oh, yeah, that's good. You know what I mean?
And then we would go off, and everybody else would go off and get something to eat or shoot a game of pool or something, you know. Like, come back, he just wanted to spend some time with whatever lyric he had or melody idea and trying to make something that matched it. And then he would bang out something, and I'd be like, oh, you're talking, oh, you want it like that? Oh, I got it. Okay. And then everybody would come back and we start playing. It's like, yeah, that's it.
And I think Bobby, especially, like, you listen to Rat Fink and you listen to Horror Business and you listen to all these songs, and you can hear Bobby's finesse as a guitar player. That didn't come from Glenn. That came from Bobby. As I mentioned before, on Horror Business, like that end part, that's all Johnny Thunders, man.